Hey everyone, Joe Lawrence here with Business Credit Workshop, and in this video series, I'm going to share with you the 7 steps of obtaining business credit financing. This process that I'm going to share with you has worked for thousands of students, including students like Greg, who's cleared over $500,000 in business credit financing without having to walk into a bank and without having to show tax returns. So this is a 7-part series. There's 7 steps that I broke down for you. All you got to do is follow the steps and then implement it, and you'll be on your way to seeing the same success that over 1,800 students of mine have seen. This series is super in-depth, so grab your pens, grab your paper, let's jump right in. So the first step is to, of course, form your business. When you're looking to get business credit financing, you gotta have a business. You don't wanna work off of a sole proprietorship or a DBA. You need to have an LLC or corporation. When you're forming your company, in a perfect world, you pick an entity name that's neutral. For example, ABC Management is a lot more neutral than ABC Real Estate, for example. If you've already created your company, we can work with what you have, of course, but if you're starting fresh, I wanna make sure that you set things up properly. So you form your company, you create it in such a way that banks are willing to lend to you. And one of the things that you need to do in a perfect world is create a neutral line of business and a neutral name. Look at SC Johnson, for example. That's the parent company, that's like a neutral name. And then the brand is, or the trademark is Windex. You can do the same thing as a business owner so that your parent company, it's a lot easier for you to get financing and funding, and then your subsidiaries, your trademarks, your DBAs, those could be the brands that the public see. Now, if you haven't already, if you've already set up your business at this point, you didn't set it up this way, that's okay, but I just wanted to share with you in a perfect world how you would set things up. So, LLC or corporation, neutral name, and then neutral line of business. For example, if you're in a real estate business, it's a lot easier to get funding if you're in asset management or property management or something like that versus being in the line of business of fixing and flipping houses, okay? So as usual, talk with a CPA or a lawyer. It doesn't cost that much money to get good, competent advice. I can't give you legal or tax advice, so make sure you do talk with qualified professionals about that. That's my fair disclosure out there. But you want to create the business and form it in such a way that banks are willing to lend to you. What you can do is you can go on your Secretary of State website and very simply just set up your company there. You could also use services like LegalZoom. LegalZoom.com, they only cost a few $100s, and then they'll take care of filing all the paperwork for you, and you'll have your company relatively quickly. In some cases, you can actually expedite getting your formation documents. When you create your company, when you form your business, make sure that you get a copy, a digital copy, like a PDF, for example, like a document that has your formation documents or certificate of formation, okay? That's something that you're going to want to have handy, so you might as well create a folder and put everything inside of it. And in addition to having the formation documents, you also want to have your EIN letter, your EIN number. You can simply get that online through the IRS website, or you can have your CPA do it for you, whatever you prefer. I usually just create the companies myself through the Secretary of State website, and then I just form the EIN number. I just obtain that online. You do have to use that website, the IRS website, to get the EIN number during the day, during business hours. So if you go on there on the weekend or late at night and you don't see that, you can apply for your EIN. Believe it or not, just try the next morning during business hours. The link will be on there. You can just Google obtain an EIN number, and it's right on the IRS website, okay? So when you're forming the business, LLCs are preferable. You really want to have a neutral name. Ideally, you'd have a neutral line of business. You want to make sure you have a formation documents in place. Make sure that you have your certificate of formation or whatever, articles of organization, whatever it's called in your state, and have an operating agreement. It's something that you can get a template of if you wanted to get it online. Relatively easy to buy that online. But an operating agreement just lays out a bunch of things, one of which is who are the members of the company and like what percentages do they own, okay? So create the company, neutral name, get your documents in order, put everything in a nice, neatly organized folder, and then what you do from there is we're going to actually talk about that on video number 2 of the series, which is to make your company business credit ready. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. That way you'll be notified when future videos come out. If you subscribe, hit that notification bell. And the next video in this series is how to make your company business credit ready.